marks the 20th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, a storm that killed more than 1,800 people and led to sweeping changes to the nation's disaster response and FEMA.
They are changes the Trump administration is now trying to roll back. Fox 23's Greg Lagerquist looks at the controversy and the claims the Trump administration is breaking the law.
As the winds and waves from Hurricane Katrina struck 20 years ago, the nation reeled from what it saw and called for change.
DHS's response are both alarming and unacceptable.
In Katrina's wake, Congress would respond by overhauling and strengthening FEMA to better mobilize the nation's resources whenever and wherever disaster struck. But 20 years later, the Trump administration wants to roll that back by slashing FEMA spending and pushing much of that responsibility back to the states.
That this agency, as it exists today, needs to be eliminated. Every disaster should be locally executed. It should be state-led, and then the federal government is there to support.
Are you concerned about the future of FEMA right now?
I wrote the bill to strengthen FEMA after Hurricane Katrina 20 years ago. And one of the things that we did is we strengthened the regional offices so that they could respond much more quickly, much more effectively.
But this week, almost 200 FEMA employees wrote an open letter saying the Trump administration is making FEMA much slower and less effective and violating that post-Katrina law. We recently spoke with Art Cleaves, a former FEMA regional administrator and current head of the York County EMA, who says he's seen firsthand FEMA already weakening under the Trump administration.
It is slow, and very hard to get results from FEMA Region 1 at this point right now. Are we better prepared now than we were then?
And Senator Collins agrees.
So I agree with the FEMA employees who wrote that letter.
Do you think the Trump administration is actually violating the spirit of that law right now?
I am convinced that the Trump administration is not following the law and is weakening our ability to respond effectively. The last thing we should be doing is making FEMA less professional and less able to respond to those terrible disasters.
For her part, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem this week accused anyone criticizing their plans for FEMA as, quote, playing politics. But right now, 20 states, including Maine, are suing the Trump administration for violating the Post-Katrina Reform Act and illegally withholding disaster grants, with many experts worrying that if a Katrina-sized disaster struck today, we would be woefully underprepared. For Good Day Maine, I'm Greg Lagerquist reporting.